Imagine waking up one morning and your entire town has disappeared. No struggle, no goodbyes, just gone. This wasn't a war zone. There were no natural disasters or evacuation notices, no fires, no floods, no panic, none of that, nothing like that. Just a small town where one by one, the residents stopped showing up. They stopped answering their phones. They stopped existing. When investigators entered, what they found looked like a paused movie. The fresh food was still sitting there on the stove, TVs were still playing, and chairs had been knocked over as if someone had just stood up really fast and never came back. This is the story of the ghost town that didn't die, it vanished, and no one knows why. It was just an ordinary Tuesday, like it always starts out, before something was off. It was actually a delivery truck driver who noticed it first. So he was driving through the town and he noticed that there were no smoke coming from any of the chimneys, but I guess he decided just to brush that off. But then as he kept driving, he noticed no movement in the windows. It looked like no one was home. He even tried going to the local diner, and this is what did it, because there were so many contradictory things going on at once here. He reached for the door, but he couldn't open it because it was locked. He looked through the window and the lights were on, and it felt like there should be people in there, like that feeling that there's supposed to be people in there, but he could tell there was no one. So all those things just didn't make sense. The oddness of this situation just escalated and really hit him. He went door to door ringing on people's doorbells. No one answered again. Still, he could see the lights on. He could see that there should be people in there. He could see that no one was in there. He could even hear phones ringing over and over and over again infinitely with possibly no one there to answer it. The town's last call to emergency services was just static. It was 9 seconds of zzz, 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 that buzzing sound, and then the line just went dead. But that was just the beginning. What investigators found next would change everything. Upon arrival, the police were mentally preparing themselves for what could typically be expected, like looting, riots, people taking advantage, that sort of thing. However, what they were met with instead was what seemed to be a perfect time capsule. They would walk into the homes and meals would be half-eaten. They'd go into the bathrooms and the bathtubs would still be on, overflowing the tub, hairdryer still on, you could hear them buzzing. And then everywhere they turned, there was just this new peculiar thing to take them out. They would walk the streets and on the sidewalk there was a line of grocery bags. Then they would go to the schools, all the desks were pushed back and the crayons were dropped on the desks as if they were dropped mid-use. The good news is there was no sign of struggle or panic. There was no blood, but there were also no bodies. And the strangest clue of all was still waiting to be discovered, if you could even believe that. Inside Town Hall, they found it. Scribbled in chalk on a board, "We were chosen." Now the handwriting didn't match any local, and there was actually one more message later found behind a mirror frame. Then came the satellite image. At 3:07 a.m., the night the town vanished, a pulse of heat flashed over the area. No storm, no meteors, no flights logged, just a singular perfect ring, then gone. Scientists call it a glitch, locals call it a warning, potato, potato, but the truth was even more terrifying. 2 years later, a lost camera was found at the town's edge. Footage showed people still, frozen, staring off into the distance. At the end, the camera jerks a little bit and you could catch a glimpse of a tall figure. It's unmoving but blurry. And then the tape just cuts out. The original reel was seized by authorities and it's never been released to the public. Why? What are they hiding? Some believe this was a mass cult event. Others whisper about ancient burial grounds. One Reddit theory actually suggests that this has happened before. A small village back in 1842 disappeared at, get this, the same exact location. Same mystery. But no one can agree on the truth because when has anyone been able to agree about anything, ever? Today, the town is sealed off. Maps reroute around it. Locals swear that you can still hear the humming when you get too close. And if you're really unlucky, you can feel someone watching you. One night, an entire town erased from the map. And experts warn that when it happens again, it might not be a small town. If this video left you with more questions than answers like it did to me, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more, and turn on that notification bell so that you can keep catching up on every single new one that we got coming out for you. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to our incredible donation heroes. You guys keep this whole operation running. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so very much. Kevan, Corkill, and Rob K, you guys are the very best. If you'd also like to donate, the link is down there for you. Feel free. I cannot stress enough how grateful I am for you guys. Truly, I couldn't do this without you. So until next time, take it easy and stay safe.